So, I'm meaning to put together a video just to go over my own understanding of God. I believe God exists for a reason. It makes more sense than the opposing view. Wasn't really sure how I wanted to go about the video. Brought out the guitar just so I have something to occupy my hands. Let's go with the opposing point of view, opposite of mine. Starting with the Big Bang. The Big Bang theory proposes that at the beginning, there was something, little tiny little thing, very dense, super dense, hot, got increasingly hot, didn't know what to do with itself, and just exploded. Little bitty pieces. From that, get the suns, the moons, the planets, the peoples, fishies, grass, through evolution. There's a lot of giant leaps of faith you have to make if you're in this school of thought. Some questions you have to answer. Or maybe you don't have to answer them. Depending on your own, from what the most sensible thing that I can see them saying is, yes, we have no understanding of why that little something came into existence, where it came from, how it got there before it exploded. No idea really how it exploded or what caused it to heat up and explode. No idea really how this non-living thing produced living things. Because from my experience, life always comes from life. Can't think of any instance where life doesn't come from life. So that's a big hurdle for you. And so you've got this little single cell that popped up out of nothing. Little simple cell. It's alive. It's just chilling. Finds a mate. Find some food. First of all, you gotta have some food before you find a mate. Somehow, learns how to eat, learns how to live on its own, no help from anybody. The mates get together, they make little other mates, etc., etc. Eventually, these little community of single-cell organisms evolve into more complex things. These complex things evolve into more complex things, and then you have this diversity of life, right? But here's the problem, a lot of problems. According to Darwinian evolution, if something evolves from something else, that something no longer exists, right? Like, you've got some creatures, the weather gets cold, some of them have hair, some of them don't. Eventually, the ones that don't have hair die off, and the ones who do have hair reproduce, etc., etc. That's the theory, how it goes. Survival of the fittest, bitches. You're not fit, you're not going to survive. So, apes, if humans evolved from apes, because apes weren't as fit, smarter humans, why they're still apes. For that matter, why they're still single-cell organisms. There should be skeletal remains of apes, but no more apes. A lot of skeletal remains of ape men, but very few ape men, mostly humans. Most of the ape men would have died off by now. There might be a couple left, they're not going to make it because they're not as fit as us humans. No skeletal remains of ape men. they've all been deemed fraudulent. Any claim that, well, I found an ape man, nope. Debunked, defrauded, it's fraudulent. So you got a lot of problems, especially when it comes to single-cell organism. Because inside of that single cell, there are thousands of little biomachines inside each little single-cell organism that's in every living thing. These machines, no joke, man, they're complicated. They're carrying information here and there, building proteins, converting energies, they're repairing each other, duplicating things, making RNA, DNA, all that other stuff. How God's on earth did these little things figure out what to do to make the single-cell organism live, function? All these little biomachines inside each little single cell, made of like thousands of little parts. It would have had to come together in a particular order in order for those little biomachines to function and work with each other. And how do these little machines figure out how to work with each other without any instructions? And where did all these instructions come from? It's intelligent design. Darwin himself said, my theory would not amount to anything if it was found that these little single-cell organisms are complex. And guess what? They're more complex than any city inside each little single-cell organism. To believe that life just came from nothing is like you come across a city. It's like that. How can a watch come from without a designer? But life is way more complicated than a watch, because then you got to have other watch. The watch has to find another watch to mate. Let's talk about a car. A car has to find fuel, reproduce. Of course, it's an analogy, but and then this car is going to evolve into rocket ships. It's nonsense. It's ridiculous. Life comes from life. God is real. Okay, well, who is God? There's the Christian conception of God. There's Jewish. There's Buddhist, Hindu, Shinto. Billion religions, billion different. As many people who are on the earth who believe in God, there's that many conceptions of who God is. Everybody understands God differently. Everybody does. Whether you're an atheist or a theist, you understand God differently. You think it's a figment of people's imaginations, or you believe he's Jesus, or you believe he's Buddha, what have you, Vishnu, Krishna. To me, it doesn't matter. If you can interchange love with the name of your God, with the word God, go with it. Jesus Christ is the Savior of the world. Love is the Savior of the world. It works just the same. God is love. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says Jesus is God, etc., etc. That's my faith. You don't have to believe it. I don't fault you for not believing in my understanding of who God is and who Christ is. Are you a loving person? Cool. I don't care if you're an atheist. But I would challenge that you don't understand your beliefs if you're an atheist. And if you're an atheist, you might say, okay, fine, I don't, but that's cool. Eventually my nonsense will make sense. We'll make some kind of understanding of it somehow, somewhere. If you can find peace in it and still manage to love each other, who am I to fault you for that? You're following Christ if you're loving one another. From my perspective. Go ahead. But my understanding of how God created is with His Word, just like it says in the Bible. God spoke and it was. Why I believe that makes sense is because of cymatics. You can Google cymatics. Sound influences matter, what we call matter. Matter really is just energy condensed to a slow enough vibration that we can perceive it with our material senses. Sound influences matter. High enough pitch, window shatters, glass shatters. Sound causes a material window to shatter. You can levitate objects with sound. Cymatics, you can look it up. Levitation with sound, look it up. Certain frequencies, and everything is about frequency and vibration. Influences matter, can create patterns in matter and sand. Play a particular frequency, it'll make it. That just made a design in matter. If I had sand in front of me, boom, I'd have a picture. And I imagine it to be a beautiful picture because this is tuned to 444 hertz, which is the frequency of love. So this voice of God would have the power to create, to influence matter. We are not God, but we can see that sound affects matter. God himself being beyond our imagination, but also very understandable in that he is love. It's relatable. But we're made in his image. We're beings of light and love. Brother and sister, you are perfect, you're divine. You are a divine creature, made of love and light. Pure. Beautiful. Divine. We forget these things. Sometimes fall under the spell of the devil. All of us do. We find ourselves dwelling in these lower frequencies of fear. Emotions emit frequencies. Dr. Emoto, I believe, is one who showed the impact of words on water. He said, love. Water is a beautiful picture. Tell water you hate it. Not such a beautiful picture. Your words, your emotions, your intentions impact yourself and other people and the world around you. It all begins in the mind. When you speak out of it. God spoke and it was. All came from the imagination and the voice of God. Now, we have free will. God created everything with his divine imagination. In that same imagination, he could imagine how the first humans, say Adam and Eve, would have acted one way or the other. Day one, Adam eats a banana. Or day one, Adam eats a mango. He's imagining this in his head, different things people could do. So you have these parallel realities that would exist in his mind. Not only from the first man, but from the billions of other men that came after him, right? So you've got all this in his mind. If you have something in your mind that exists, it's a reality to yourself. With God, it's different. He has this imagination playing out parallel realities. That's how I understand parallel realities. It's imagination of God. Of us, me doing this today, me not doing this today. Me doing this today, here, in this reality, in this radio station, in this bandwidth. In another bandwidth, I'm not. I'm sleeping. Doing something else, right? Today I'm here. And like if you turn on the radio to 101.9, you'll hear what's playing on 101.9. If you tune in to 102.7, you'll hear what's playing on 102.7. If you merge those two channels together, you hear a little bit of both. That's what's happening at CERN. It's happening with these large halogen colliders, these D-wave computers. And the result is the Mandela effect we can perceive. In my memory, JFK was assassinated in a car that held 4 people. Very clear recollection of that. They're replica cars, 4-seater cars. But the problem is, if you look at any video footage, any photo footage of the assassination, you're going to find a 6-seater. 6 people in that car. I'll explain that. You've got replica cars that are 4-seaters. It's a sidebar. It's a sidebar. The Mandela effect. It's a little weird. It's devilish. And I don't really know what they're trying to do with that, but it's a thing. Got a little distracted. God is real. Devil is real. Devil is real. The devil can do whatever. He has free reign on this world. God allows it. God allows the devil to do whatever he wants to do. So you can't be mad at the devil. He's just doing what he does. It's in his nature. God allows it. Here's the thing. The devil feeds on lower vibrations. The fear, the anxiety, the depression, all that stuff. He feeds on it. You have the power in your mind to dwell down there or to let it go. It's up to you. It's up to you, brothers and sisters. If you're in fear, anxiety, depression, anger, and all that stuff, you are under the spell of the devil. I'm sorry. And he is going to feed on you. He's going to hold you down and feed on you until it consumes you whole, spits you out. You gotta rise above it. If you're above that influence, it's the flip side. The devil has no hold on you. You have no food for him if you're not dwelling down there. If you're dwelling in love, appreciation, if you're seeking truth, if you're cutting through all the deceptions, you're above the mind control. What's the devil got on you? He's doing nothing. He can't even look at you. If you realize you're a being of love and light, and you really know that in your heart, there's no fear in you. There's no anxiety in you. There's no depression in you. You got to be fearful about it. You're a divine being of love and light. For Christ's sake. Pun intended. Break the spell. The devil's going to do what he wants to do. Let him be. He's going to get his hold on people, and they're going to do devilish stuff. You have to have compassion for those people. People out there doing devilish stuff are under the influence of the devil. They're spellbound. They're under his, he's got his talons gripped into them, and they're going to do what he wants them to do. I'm talking about CEOs, talking about the war machine, talking about the financial system, the judicial system. He has his claws deep in all of that. Churches too. Prosperity ministries, Catholic Church. Catholic Church is still, the sacraments are still holy. Big portion of the church is corrupt. The people, the Pope, is a devil worship. Bishops, a lot of people up there, the cardinals, and the Vatican doing devil sacrifices, rituals. It's a thing. The devil is real. It's not to be feared. He's like, if you know you're being of love and light, and you're awake, again, you have no reason to have fear or anxiety and any of that stuff. He can't feed on you. He can't look at you. So what do you got to be mad about? Someone's under the influence of the devil, you should have compassion for them. Compassion for them. They're a child of God just like you. They're being of love and light, who bought into all this materialism so much that they're willing to sell their soul for some fortune and fame, some little shekels in this little earthly realm. This brief drop in a bucket that we call life. After this life, there's more to come. You can have heaven on earth, you can have hell on earth. It's your choice. Break the spell. The entertainment industry, the media, they have people under mind control. It's in the education system. Buy this or else. Or else what? People won't like me if I don't buy this. Shut the front door. Right? People fall under that spell though. Consumerism, materialism. They judge their self-worth off how much money they can spend every month. That's your self-worth? What about how kind you are to people? What about how kind you are to yourself? God is real, the devil is real. You fall under the spell of the devil. There's a lot of ways to do that. You gotta beware of the snares of the devil. TV, don't ever watch television. Unsubscribe to cable service. The mind control device. It's a satanic mind control device. They call it televised programming. Programming for a reason. It's there to program you to believe what they want you to believe, to act the way they want you to act, to buy what they want you to buy, etc., etc. You watch television, you're just going to do their song and dance, you're going to fall in the spell of the devil. Broadcasting. Broadly casting spells. The music industry, the entertainment industry was never there to entertain you. It's there to program you. You can seek entertainment from the entertainment industry. There are shows I like, but I watch them under the conscious mindset that this is for my entertainment. This isn't to program me, right? For laughs. You have to go into it fully aware of what they're trying to program you. You watch these little animations, anything, they're throwing up devil signs with their hands. Disney, forget about it. Warner Brothers, the whole thing. It's all satanic. Trying to get you under that spell. Any Disney movie, they want to tear down the fabric of the family. You got pick one. You got a rebel rebelling against her parents, falling into looking for magic, for answers. Magic comes from magic is satanic. Magic's real, but it's magician. Like there are some real magicians, but they're real because they've got demonic forces acting for them. They can masquerade as angels of light, the devil can. So he can manipulate matter to make the magician pour orange juice into this, comes wine, water into that, but he can do whatever he wants. Aliens? No, there are no aliens. Outer space? No, there's no outer space. We're at the center. No satellites, there's no moon landings. You can tell me that we went to the moon 7 times in the 60s and 70s? We can't go back to the moon, but we can send rovers to Mars? We got a rover on Mars sending us pictures. You really believe that? Try going into the countryside, the Amazon rainforest, take a picture, try sending it to your favorite friend. But you can't do it. But you can do it from Mars. They got little... When they went to Mars, they just like drop off little satellites along the way every couple miles to relay the pictures back. For millions of miles away. You really believe that? The moon is the sun is 93 million miles away. Does it look like that? You just believe it because somebody said it. And you figure, well, they must have poured through the numbers and the figures and came up with 93 million miles. No. It's pure imagination. Outer space, Big Bang Theory, theory of gravity, pure imagination. You really believe the earth is shaped like a ball? The land you're standing on curves around upon itself like a ball? You really believe that? Have you thought it through? Have you really thought it through? You believe we're standing on a ball? NASA says the earth is tilted at an axis at a certain degree, right? 23.4 degrees. Subtract that from 90 degrees. 66.6 degrees. Okay. You're standing on a ball. The top of the ball, you're cool, right? What happens if you're standing on the side of the ball? How you feeling? What if you're standing on the bottom of the ball? You got plants, buildings on the bottom of the ball. The side of the ball. It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. So you don't fall off the bottom of the ball if you're standing on the bottom of the ball. There's a gravity hold you there. Okay. But you're still upside down. They don't feel any different. They don't feel their blood rushing to their head. Try standing on your head for 10 seconds. 20 seconds. How about your whole life? It's insane. If you're on a ball, no matter where you're standing on that ball, relative to everything else, you're at the highest elevation. Everything else is going to be below you, below the curve. If that's true, which it would have to be, then every tall structure that you looked at would appear to be bending away from you if you're just stationary. Right? Just picture it. You're in a valley surrounded by mountains. Those mountains should appear to curve away. Same thing with buildings. Should appear to curve away. You come closer to the building, mountain comes up like that. You go away from it, you look back, it's curving away. Never see that. Ever, anywhere. It's ridiculous. Insane. They say, we live on a ball, but there's no curve. You can't find any curve anywhere. Let me show you why. Well, you can go look for yourself. There's no curvature anywhere. You can't find it anywhere. Water always finds its level. 70% of the surface of this world, this earthly realm, is covered by water. Water always finds its level. If you pour water into a glass, at the top when it rests, it'll be level. Pour water into a pool, let it rest, it's going to be level. Lakes, level. Oceans, level. Sea, level. Sea level in Japan is the same as sea level in Colorado, New York, Paris. No matter where you go, sea level is universal. Because it's freaking level, it's flat. Never mind that we're supposed to be spinning. Let's just deal with lack of curvature. People who believe in the ball earth will tell you, you're standing on a beach and you watch a boat sail away from you. It leaves your point of view because it goes beyond the curve. Makes sense if you're a ball earther. But what happens if you take a telescope and aim at that boat? Bet you comes back into your field of vision. Didn't disappear behind the curve. Keep watching the boat, let it sail out until you can't see it anymore. No problem. Zoom in somewhere until it exits your field of vision, and it's just gone. You can't see it anymore. That's it. There's no curve. You have to understand flat earth cosmology, and it's difficult to explain in words. Basically, especially, you've been believing in a globe earth your whole life. There was never a globe model, as far as I know, until about 500 years ago. Everything was on a flat map. The earth is flat. They dreamed this thing up. I know, it's a ball. See, I'll show you a ball. This is what it looks like. Ridiculous. It's insane. So, the Earth is flat. At the North Pole, that's the center of our earthly realm. The magnetic North Pole, and there's something special about that place. Can't go there. It's the center of the world. It's the axis mundi. Can't go there. Something special about it. Around the North Pole, all your lands and waters. Keep going south. Similar with the globe model, keep going south, you're going to run into Antarctica. The difference is, North Pole is in the middle, it's flat surface. Keep going south, you run into quote-unquote Antarctica. Just